happy late Valentine's Day. Welcome back to the Dish Pit Podcast. It's two days after Valentine's Day, right? I had to work. You had Valentine's Day off or just the night?
No, I worked that night.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I got busy last minute.
Yeah, I forgot.
I was just trying to get the fuck out of there for no reason.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, we did get busy last minute. It was fucking frustrating.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
I had a
Were you there?
young crowd?
Yeah.
Or old folks?
It was a combination. There were some old folks. There was some young folk. Well, there were some families. There was these two chicks that came in, and they didn't look like they had dates. And so they were all dressed up.
I thought they were lesbians.
I don't think so.
Galentine's is a new thing that women are doing.
Yeah,
She got her a ring from Kay. And the other girl was like, hey, she got her like some flowers or something. She was like, what the fuck you got me? Like, every kiss begins with KK?
She should have went to Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stiffed me. So yeah, they should have went to Jared instead
Because
of
women's
Rockfish.
suicide rates rise this time of year for single women.
Does it really?
When?
Oh, now y'all are listening. Yeah, absolutely. Galentine's is this new thing single women are doing amongst themselves where they get together, go out to eat, and gift each other something so they don't get depressed.
So they
The
feel
overall
sad.
suicide rate, though, is largely men, though. So
Yeah.
But he just said the women's go up. But
it
either
goes
way, I
up
think,
on Valentine's Day. What
when?
statistic is that from? BuzzFeed?
No, Vice News. Michael.
Okay, that's a little more reasonable. I like Vice.
Vice is all right. Hey, but we did have surprisingly less amount of what our normal Valentine's clientele is, which is side pieces and hookers.
We didn't get a lot of those. It was
Normally
kind of
we're-
like I like those.
Oh, and breakups. We normally are good
Oh
for.
shit! Hey, DJ's bringing in groceries. Sorry.
You are witnessing a supply run.
Don't fail it.
But yeah, normally there's breakups and prostitution going on in there, and we didn't really have any of that on Valentine's.
No, who breaks up on Valentine's Day? Like,
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, me too.
Why?
I've done it once. It's not
Why?
like a reoccurring
I've done
thing.
it. So you don't have to get them a gift, bro. That's like,
Not
wasn't
only
for
that,
that.
like, not only that.
Yeah, I had to
like,
look right. Is that your reason?
that was my reason at that time.
Okay,
and
well,
I wasn't really
what's your
into her.
reason?
She didn't deserve the holiday.
But you did it on the day.
I did it before Valentine's Day, kind of like what Michael's saying. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get her the gift, but it was studying the whole pros and cons of the relationship before, and it's like, should I get her? Should I go all out? No. Like,
I've actually
Indian.
found that most of my breakups coincide with some type of holiday thing that is coming up, whether it's like a birthday, Christmas, you know, like sometimes you'd have to spend with somebody, you know, like 4th of July or some shit, and I'll be like, yeah, this is not working out. I'm going to cut it off and then have some fun on whatever holiday it is. But Valentine's Day, if you're with a girl and they're like expecting something, because like nowadays some chicks are like, it's a stupid holiday, it's a commercial holiday, blah blah blah, it's just meant to spend money, you're supposed to love someone same day, like every day, you know, same way, blah blah blah. So there's some girls out there that don't care, but a lot of them are like, better come with my fucking Valentine's Day fucking gift, at least a gift.
Well, it just doesn't have to be nothing crazy. It's just something that shows that you care.
Yeah.
every year
You
we
would
take
think that.
turns. So this year was my turn, and I just knew when I plan things, they don't go on schedule with Jay. So nigga, I made 4 reservations at 4 different restaurants. 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock reservation. Yeah, and we missed all of them. We missed all of them,
How?
motherfuckers. Jay, okay. My thought behind this was because she works and gets off at XYZ time, she'll have time to get ready from when she gets off, or she could be doing the makeup from before she gets off and then just put her outfit on and we could go. Or an hour after that, or an hour after that. So 2 hours I even considered. And she missed all of that shit. And she took the day off at 2 o'clock. So in between getting her nails and hair done and
Feels like
doing
he's
some
trying to be loud on
shopping and
purpose.
paying some bills, we missed 4 hours worth of reservation slots.
Why didn't you just do 5?
I
planned
didn't
it.
think that those would fall through.
Mark calls me all fucking frustrated, right? Like I had literally just left Rockfish, and I was going to the bar. I was going to do get my own Valentine's drink, you know. So, and he's telling me all this shit. I was in the car, and I'm like, bro, what the? Why don't you, like, they got some food and stuff over here at the Bull and Bear? Just, I'll be over here. And he was like, yeah, we'll come through. And they came through.
It was gonna be just me because I needed to.
I thought it
drink.
was gonna be you. I did not expect Jay.
I was at the point where you ever plan on eating something, so you like, oh, I ain't even gonna worry about that Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm eating good tonight.
Mhm.
Bro, I didn't eat like all day because I was thinking about whatever restaurant we was gonna end up at. And then when we didn't go, I was like, well, fuck it. This liquor's gonna feel great when I start drinking.
Mhm.
And as soon as I put some clothes on, where you going? To the bar. All right, here I come.
And then she got ready for that. Well, not that she wasn't wearing anything crazy.
So yeah, just one of those weird ones this year. We'll probably do
Maybe she
something
didn't
this
want to go out to dinner.
weekend. I cooked something last night. Different thing.
She didn't want to go out to dinner. But why don't you just tell me? We could fucking not go out and spend money.
Jay does not like being the decision maker. So when I put that
Most
pressure
women
on
don't.
her,
Well, a lot of women don't.
A lot of women don't.
she thinks that I'm like.
You gotta ask them, would you be opposed to going to this place?
Nah, they want to hear like, hey, we're going to this place.
So
We're going to this
just
place.
as an
Easier to
example.
say no than it is to say yes.
Jay
So
works from
if you
home.
ask them if they're opposed to it, they'd be like, well, no, I'm not opposed to going to Chick-fil-A.
So
And then you're like, well, then we're going to Chick-fil-A. There we go. That's how you
she
get around
works
it.
from
Problem
home.
solved.
So planning around her break is an everyday thing. Either we're gonna get some food or we're gonna watch something that's like 30 minutes to an hour long on TV. We're gonna smoke and enjoy that. I asked this one question: do you want to watch this show? It doesn't matter where we watch this show because we're gonna end up watching this show that I'm already watching. Shit's Getting Real on The Sopranos. And I was like, look, where do you want to smoke this blunt on your break? In the bedroom or the living room? I don't know. You would have thought I was asking like the nuclear launch codes to fucking, save the world or something. I was
Kazakhstan.
like, do you want to smoke in the room or the living room? And
Why are you yelling at me? All this pressure.
like I was immediately the bad guy from fucking,
It's like the button meme where he has the towel to his head and he's looking to press which button. Smoking bedroom or smoking living room.
That's pretty bad, bro. Valentine's Day.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's
The worst is when you ask your girl where she wants to eat,
Oh yeah.
and she's like, "Come on, like, bro, like, just make a fucking decision."
Once they
No,
do
what's-
that, I just make the decision.
What's bad
I'm
is
like, well, we're going here then.
no. What? See, here's what's worse than what G just says. Whenever you ask them, they give you that answer, and then you're like, all right, fine. Well, we're going to this place then. They're like, well, I don't want to go there. And I'm like,
when
I
was
just
gonna
asked
say,
you, where do you want to go? This is obviously where I want to go. Same place we were last night or the night before.
When I ask that question, I don't care as long as it's
Obviously what I'm
not.
doing.
What? I asked you where you want to eat, and you gave me a list of places you don't want to go, and it's always the place you want to go too.
Bro,
We used to work at Cafe Express, so I like eating there.
Doesn't sound appetizing though.
No.
Cafe Express was good.
It was
Was
busting.
it?
The
Yeah, it
chicken
was.
was fire. And,
Really?
And they
Yeah,
sweet potato
delicious.
fries.
Yeah.
Bro, I just be wanting to go
Cheers,
for the
gentlemen.
chicken tenders. And I'm a fucking mongoloid.
Cafe
because
Express for real had food like that?
This is what she says to me. Cause she ordered baked potato soup. I could taste the dirt on the potatoes.
Oh god.
Bitch, I'll never eat Cafe Express again because you tasted some dirt on the potato.
No way she did.
I swear to God, that's what she said, and that's why we don't go there.
No.
Damn.
I can't eat Cafe Express
You gotta sneak it
because she had a dirty potato one time
in soup.
in the soup.
How do you
Bro.
taste the dirt
Bro, I
in
swear
the
to God.
soup, bro? If there was dirt in there, it would have been cooked the fuck out.
That's the explanation I was given why I can't eat at one of my favorite restaurants.
Cause she had the dirty potato. I would have been like, my food was fine.
Why don't you just
actually.
go eat there by yourself?
Oh, I do. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's one of my great joys. That and when I don't have to tell her, bro, La Madeleine is like my secret place. I took her there one time and she was like, oh, babe, you gotta let me know when you're coming back. And I was like, I will not.
I will not.
I will not.
This is my thing.
This is mine.
Yeah, because she loves, what's that place? Jason's Deli.
Oh my god.
It's not bad, yeah.
They're
I
all-
like the little croissant sandwiches.
She
Those are
will
good.
eat there 5 times out of 7 times a week if you let her know. Do you love it that much?
No.
That
Well, if you eat sandwiches, I could eat a sandwich every day.
I
No,
love
that's
that
like
sandwich.
my love
For
for
lunch?
Mexican food. I'll eat at La Tapatia
Every night.
Every night.
He's gonna get some tonight.
I am getting no, because
Not?
we usually finish up a little bit later, so
That
I'll
is
usually
true.
get taqueria Rondas or something like
Okay,
that.
well he's getting fajitas.
I'm getting fajitas. Like that's going down for sure. But,
You're teetering the slippery slope on that one, man.
why with the fajitas?
Fajitas every night.
I switch it up. Like
know,
I'll do flautas and a crispy taco. Quesadillas I can do now because I got those little magic fucking milk pills.
Wanna
But
tell everybody how you just fell out twice this week?
man, so I do need to get my shit together, guys. Y'all
What?
hit a like and a prayer for me.
Yeah, put prayer hands.
Prayer hands in the comments because last Tuesday it was my day off. I didn't really do anything special. I had a couple of drinks in the evening and I came over here and we recorded our Let's Play, and we were doing Pokemon Legends, which is fun. And we were only doing it for like a couple hours, so we left here and I went and got food, went home, ate. I'm like, all right, well, this is when I had to work the double the next day, so I missed last Wednesday, right? I was just like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna go to bed early because I have to work a fucking double tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm gonna play some Pokemon first. So I go upstairs and I sit on my bed, and I still, even though I have a whole queen-size bed, I just sleep on one side. So I'm sitting cross-legged on that side, holding my Switch, kind of like nodding, and I'm like, no, I need to get to this point in the game, and then I'll stop. And then next thing you know, I just feel myself nodding off and falling to sleep and leaning over to the right where there's no bed. And it all happened like so fast. But as I got to here, the point of no return, my brain clicks on and is like, there's no bed there. And so now as I'm falling, I wake up. So I wake up and I literally am seeing the ceiling come into focus and my feet in the air, and I hit the fucking ground. And my bed sits like, it'd be like falling off of this table.
This is up that high, really?
Yeah, because it has the fucking frame and then the box spring and then the mattress on top. So it's like I felt like three and a half
So you
feet.
woke up Inception style, just
No, so I immediately, yeah, Inception, exactly, bro. I woke up like, and I hit the ground.
That shit would be trippy.
Boom! And I'm still holding my Switch, and I'm like,
Imagine laying back in your bed and you're like falling, and then you just
I went into free fall for a second, and it was just like, boom.
could have broke something.
So I got up, and I'm like, oh, that sucked, and I just took, went to sleep. When I woke up the next day, my fucking ribs were hurting so bad, and I was like, today is the first day that I haven't had to take
turn that shit
any
down, bro.
ibuprofen for my ribs because I bruised the fuck out of them
from falling out of bed.
from falling out of bed.
Holy shit.
Today's the first day I didn't have to get, like, every day I get up and I'm like, yep. Oh man, it hurts. I didn't break them because there was no swelling. And so the night before last, Monday night, I don't know what I was doing. I just got my I got new AirPods, so I'm like jamming and I'm fucking just chilling in my room. I'm listening to the radio and I'd eaten, but I was fucking drinking at the bar. And then when I came home, and then next thing you know, I wake up on the floor. I must have been sitting in the bed again because my feet were like up hanging on the bed, and both of my AirPods are like not in my ear.
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and my headphone, like, which I'll fall asleep with in my ear, is just like under my back or something.
Yeah.
Or just like completely in my blanket or whatever. I just like, what the fuck is it? I'm trying to find it.
That's why I said I had new AirPods, because I was watching something on my phone with my AirPods in on like Saturday night, and I fall asleep, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, let me watch a video on my phone, and there's no sound. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I turn off my phone, turn it back on, the sound for a second, then there's no sound. I'm like, god damn it. And then I look at the control panel, it's connected to my AirPods, but my AirPods are not in my ear. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I look up and I'm laying on top of one, and then the other one I see is in pieces because Nymeria fucking ate it. It was not a fun night for her. It was not a fun night for her that night.
Oh, I want to talk about the Boba Fett finale.
Oh my god.
What was your favorite moment in the episode?
Probably riding the Rancor. I think that was, or the dual Boba Mando scene
That was epic.
when they're fucking finally, united fighting together.
Yeah, I think that scene where they were going against all the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite part. Then the Rancor.
The Rancor. It was like, oh shit. That's actually paying homage to the Star Wars Christmas holiday special. Because that's the first appearance of Boba Fett. Because it's right after episode 4. And it's like, it's an animation of Boba Fett. And he's riding this fucking dinosaur. And he looks and it's like animated a Chewie, and he's like, "Oh yes, we come." Da, da, da. I don't know what his dialogue is, but that's the first appearance of Boba Fett in 1978.
So, favorite scene from the finale?
Yeah,
When Santo got jumped, and then when he hits the corner, when he they pan back to him when he hits that corner, and he's like limping, he knocks that guy off his shoulder.
Who's Santo? Oh,
Blast him.
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, but they call him
Okay.
Fennec.
The
was calling him
gladiator?
Santa.
Yeah. He blasts that dude off his shoulder, and then he's like limping. You see his leg is like all the way messed up. His foot's like sideways. He's dragging it, and then they shoot him in that leg. Right there in that moment, I was like, this dude is so OP. I hope he makes it, and he does, and kills like 30 more people. I was like, yeah, this dude's awesome.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene was when Grogu calms the Rancor down. I just thought it was real symbolic.
Mind trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how a lot of people would if you look at like the Star Wars expanded universe, you can that's a way to calm the Rancor. They were
There's a lot of animal calming. Well, I mean, you seen Grogu. I mean, he didn't calm that mud horn. He kind of like
no, he just lifted
it up, but he would probably have that power, especially after being with Luke. For that, he looks like he kind of remembered a bunch of his old training.
Master Dickhead Luke.
Master Dickhead.
Master Make a Decision Luke. I ain't like that, bro. Why you force that decision?
That's fun.
on
That's
my
funny
boy?
that you say that. I there's a lot of talk about how that old archaic decision is something that existed through Yoda and was passed down. Like Obi Wan tells Anakin in Episode 3 that only Sith deal in absolutes. Because Obi-Wan learned from Qui-Gon, which is a more true representation of how Jedi should view their relationship with the Force and with the government or whoever, the Republic or whatever they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And the Sith always dealt in problematic ultimatums.
Even Obi-Wan himself says in Clone Wars, I would have gave it all up for you. He's talking about a whole woman. Like, bro.
Satine.
Like, how you gonna say love is the way and not hate and fear and all this other stuff, and then like bar people from building?
Jedi don't ever say love is the way. That's not like a way of thinking from the
You
Jedi.
can't have any earthly attachment.
That's bogus.
It's a monastic tradition, kind of. It's like being a monk.
Yeah,
It's bogus.
you could still love and you could even be in love, but you just can't have that attachment to it. Like, even if like I love you with all my heart, but if at the end of the day, if you're the one chosen to, your destiny doesn't lie with me, then
That's bogus.
you have to go.
They didn't have to force that on Grogu.
But that's the thing. Yoda gave
I mean, what are you gonna be able to have your cake and eat it too?
Luke gave Grogu an ultimatum, which is an archaic thing that happened. The way Yoda preaches, going down the dark side or choosing the light, there is no in between. So
What is Ahsoka?
Ahsoka is a Force user.
She's in between. She hasn't chosen a side, it sounds like.
No,
She's never.
I don't think she's on the side of darkness.
She's
There
not,
are people that have Force powers that aren't Jedi or Sith, like the people of Dathomir, and like the Force is
Did you say
everywhere.
that that's neutral?
Yeah, but it's not gray.
It's not gray. And
Gray Jedi don't exist in Star Wars.
correct. Even George Lucas came out and
Dave Filoni said it
and
too.
Dave Filoni said it on behalf of George.
Yeah.
I think,
But she's not a Jedi.
Not anymore, no.
she's not a Jedi.
No.
So she's a neutral Force user.
Correct.
That's the middle.
Well,
I
now
mean-
you're gonna act like you're gonna drop in your mic.
No, I literally just have to. But that's the middle. Come on.
No, because she doesn't.
That's not the middle.
No, it's
What
not
was
because
you think Luke should have just let him be a Jedi and have the Mandalorian armor?
well, here's
So
why.
you gotta choose, man. Are you gonna be attached to the Mandalorian, or are you gonna follow down the
It
Jedi
wasn't
path?
like the gift had attachments to it. It was
Yeah, it did.
a gift to protect him.
Well,
Period.
it was still an attachment thing. That's like whether it be a protection thing or he could have given him a fucking bow for his head. It's still gonna be an attachment.
As his teacher, shouldn't he want to protect Grogu?
But he feels the Mandalorian, like you just said, he gave him armor to protect him. Obviously, if he goes with the Mandalorian and his people, he will be
Jedi
protected.
don't need armor.
And he will be
He's
protected.
not a Jedi. He's a kid. He needs.
No, he's gonna
armor.
be a Padawan. That was the choice. You be a Jedi Padawan, or you can go back to being a Mandalorian. There is no both. You can either be a Jedi or you can be a Mandalorian.
Which what will be cool about the story is if they kind of make it a way where you can kind of find a middle ground and you can be both. Like maybe.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, like that would be a cool.
Well, he's still gonna
point
have
for
Force. I was saying that he's still gonna have his powers with the Force. The Darksaber is still a thing. Like
The dark
I was gonna
saber
say,
is
saying
still a
he
big.
couldn't do both is like saying the Mandalorian Jedi couldn't do both. He's literally a foundling and a Jedi. Why
I
couldn't Grogu be one?
are there any Mandalorian Jedi?
The only one was Mandalore, the first one, the one who created the dark
That's all
saber.
I'm saying. Bro.
He's the only
Yeah, but-
Mandalorian Jedi.
They forced a decision on a kid and was like, oh, it's this way or no way.
He's technically 50, but
Yeah, he's 50.
I see your point.
He's 50. He's not a kid.
Why does he call him the kid?
Yeah, they
Well,
call him the
the
child.
child.
Yeah,
He's
they
literally
call him the
floating.
child.
Well, they called him the child because first of all, he looks like a child, and Yoda looks like a child too. To be fair.
Yeah.
In the perspective of like
How old
the
he's
way his
supposed to be, 600?
species progresses.
He already looks
in
wrinkly.
age.
If he's 50 on his way to being 700, he's still a kid.
I would say yeah, he's a kid.
All right then.
But that doesn't have anything
So
to do with
something's
being a
going
Jedi.
And Grogu's a kid.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if there's any kid
That's a bad.
Jedis.
That's not like a good point to end on. You always do this. I hate how he does this shit.
I don't think half of what he said was caught on the mic.
No, it wasn't.
No,
He
it was.
just-
It was just fuzzy as fuck because his mic was doing something. I had to unplug it.
It's probably because the goddamn cord is like angled.
Yeah, it was doing something weird.
But yeah, fucking bomb ass episode.
Yeah,
For sure.
No, I understood the.
Leave it to Mark to derail though.
No, I understood the reason for why there had to be a decision to make. It's like, first of all, imagine you're playing a video game, they're not gonna let you have the fucking lightsaber and the mithril or whatever, the
Yeah.
goddamn Beskar.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
maybe he could have let him have it, but I think that would have made it harder for him to be properly connected with the Force. You know.
No, what Luke is doing is a test too. What he's doing is giving him the choice to go out there and see and be with the Mandalorian, and then eventually he will probably make the decision on his own to come back.
Think so?
That's what I think.
You're giving Luke too
Maybe.
much credit for that.
What do you mean?
That's too much credit.
He's fucking Jedi Master Luke Skywalker.
And based off of every Padawan he's had, how many? Of
He
them
hasn't had
successful?
any yet. His first one is Grogu.
Hold up. So in the end of the episode,
We're not talking about the sequel.
We're not talking about the sequel trilogy right now.
hold on. When Luke is old,
Catch your breath.
We get
who was one of his students? Kylo Ren.
We don't
Okay.
know. That didn't
That
happen yet.
technically has been retconned by
Grogu.
Siri.
They did that ultimately to say, living on as a Jedi, his purpose is to teach other people the way of the Force. Right? You could agree with that?
No, because the Kylo Ren timeline is a different
I'm not
timeline
talking
than
about
this
Kylo
one.
Ren. I'm just talking about Luke's purpose as a
Theoretically.
Jedi.
Yeah, theoretically.
So
Luke's purpose as
You're
a
making
Jedi.
a lot of assumptions for some shit we don't know about.
Yeah, first of all, I've done all the literature research, and Luke's goal right now is to collect all Jedi artifacts and Sith artifacts and retrace the lineage of both orders to make his own academy to put forth very neutral Jedi.
had he trained someone in the way of the Jedi and they became successful in the Master Jedi, do you think we would have heard of them by now?
No, it hasn't
because it
happened
hasn't
yet.
happened yet.
I was gonna say, when did it
Why do you-
happen? You know what I mean? Like,
You're
they
trying-
will tell us when it happens, but as of right now, we know of
I don't think
2
it-
students.
You're from the assumption
sure,
that
you know,
the sequel trilogy is the end game. Like that's
No.
where it all ends.
No.
Well, then why would you assume that Luke doesn't find other people to train?
Like you said, that I understand that
only,
they're
like, actual
they
Jedi left.
retconned that.
Not only that, how do you know that there are other Jedi part of his academy?
We don't know fully if
that-
they've retconned it yet.
Well, we
It's
don't-
just kind of like assumed because like
Just like I assumed.
Grogu.
So in the
What?
canon literature, Luke takes Ben Solo as his Padawan. 10 years, so his 10th birthday, he makes a promise to Leia that as he goes out and does all of his exploring, he will come back on Ben's 10th birthday and take him under his wing and make him a Padawan. And then as time progressed on, that's when he started traveling around with Ben, finding other Force-sensitive children and people of age and accepting them into Luke's new Jedi Academy, where he had about 25 students. And they all grow up and then into the series of and the events of the sequel trilogies occur. Now, Grogu in the Mandalorian's timeline, which is canon, is happening 4 years before. It's 6 years after
The Battle of Mandalore.
the Battle of Endor, or the Battle of Endor.
Of Yavin.
Battle
that's a different.
Yeah,
that's a different-
Yavin was episode 4.
That's a different.
6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Ben Solo, which we haven't seen yet, is presumably 6 years old at this time. So, by Luke taking Grogu as a Padawan, retcons the fact that it's not his now. Ben Solo is not his first Padawan. So now we obviously might be in a different timeline, and that all goes back to the Rebels episode where Ahsoka gets pulled through the world between worlds as she's fighting Vader, and you don't know her fate after she fights Vader, and gets pulled through, and Ahsoka Tano lives in the current timeline.
Let me ask you a question. That second to last
He wasn't
episode-
listening.
No, I definitely was, and that's hard to follow. You just talked about 3 different timelines.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm
I
gonna
know.
ask you a direct question.
Okay.
That second to last episode, when they unlocked Grogu's power, did he learn that or did Luke teach it?
What do you
Well,
mean?
Did
he
he
was remembering it. I think someone put a block in his mind.
Yeah.
So does that mean Grogu had a master already?
Yeah, he
Yes.
was taught on Coruscant.
He
They've
was
already
taught on
said
Coruscant.
that.
So
Yeah.
Luke
They
isn't
did-
going to be his master.
No, he's not. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, no, that's
Grogu is not Luke's Padawan.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
my point. It's
No,
not
no,
gonna
no.
be, which means he's never going to come back. We
Well,
don't
I
have
was-
to talk about 3 different timelines.
Well, I was getting to
because
that.
it's
At
not
this
gonna
point, he's
Well, no,
not
that's
his
still
Padawan.
a thing. The
That's-
World Between Worlds is still a
it's
thing.
still a
Ezra
thing.
Bridger is still out there. The whole
Thrawn is still out there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Ezra pulled Ahsoka through. The fact that Ahsoka Tano is alive in this timeline is doing a lot of different things.
Right,
from
where
the
was
earlier
Ahsoka in the
thing.
sequel trilogy?
I do see
Where
That's-
was she?
yeah,
one
where
of
was
the
she?
points that you're trying to make. You're saying that because technically Grogu was never Luke's student, Ben could still technically be
His first.
the
Yeah.
first student.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's true.
True.
Meaning he can't come back and learn from him because
Yeah.
he didn't.
I see.
That's all I was trying to
No,
say.
no,
like,
no, no.
I followed your time, and I love time travel.
Well, I was getting until you interrupted me. That was my next point.
It's not
I was
really
like,
time travel. It's parallel universes.
Yeah, it's a parallel universe. That was my next point. The fact that Grogu made the decision to be a Mandalorian now can kind of prove that the timelines are still on track, except that Ahsoka is here, and that's been part of the
That
story.
might affect Luke.
the whole time, and it might affect
I
Luke.
think it affects Luke because the scene where he's like standing with Ahsoka there, he's like, "When will I see you again?" Like he wants to connect with some. Like there's not a lot of, like not Jedi, but there's not a lot of Force adepts out there. Like there's not.
So
Doesn't that show his lack of faith in the Force, though? anxiety.
No, but there's always like this ebb and flow with the dark and the light. So you need, like, if it's just you, like, you're inevitably just gonna lose. So he's desperate to find people who are on the light side.
It's like
And
trying to find people that you connect with.
Maybe in the timeline where the sequel trilogies happen, Ahsoka's not alive, so Luke falls more and more into this like cynical way of thinking, which drives him to trying to kill Ben.
Yeah,
You know, but
like,
in this new timeline, he has Ahsoka to kind of be this like mentor because she's older than him.
there's so many different things.
She can be like his almost like a sage for him.
There's a lot of people saying that like Ahsoka being alive right now could have been part of the story the whole time.
Maybe,
for
yeah.
the fact that she could probably die epically in the future when Luke has his Jedis and Jedi Academy, and it could be the fall of the Knights of Ren, and Ahsoka's death could have started the spiral and the downfall of Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, which would kind of mirror the same thing that happened to his father when Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. It really hurt Anakin and sent him into a downward spiral where he didn't trust the Jedi Order anymore.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
The straw that broke the camel's back that allowed him to let the dark side in. And the same thing could have happened with... I see that them spinning that with Ahsoka being like some linchpin.
I feel that her story
For the Skywalkers.
For the Skywalkers.
has been written, and they're just waiting for the introduction to the end.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You think the entire story for the next like however many years they're doing Star Wars stuff has been written?
for the next
For
40
Ahsoka to know,
I don't think so. Oh, maybe Ahsoka.
Maybe
yeah,
Ahsoka,
the
yeah.
show.
That's the only person I'm talking about.
There might be multiple seasons though. Like they don't write all the seasons at once. They like, you know, there's like budgeting and they have to be
I
like,
think her
are
death
we
is
getting
already
greenlit?
written.
I don't know about written, but I definitely know about.
I don't see it.
I definitely think planned. Dave Filoni created Ahsoka. That's why we have her.
She's gonna die eventually, obviously.
I'm sure Dave has an ending for her. I'm sure he does.
But she's not even like, she's in her 40s, I think, probably. At
50s,
this point.
I think now.
50s?
Yeah.
You sure? She was younger than Anakin.
She was younger than.
I think she's like 16 years or 17, maybe max 18 years older than Luke.
Didn't she
and
get
Luke's in
kicked
his
from the Star
20s, right?
Wars? Rosario Dawson?
Between episode 3 and episode 4 is 17 years.
Didn't she get canceled and kicked
And
off
so
of
she
Star
was
Wars?
however how old. No, that was Gina Graciano or whatever.
Her
She would
and
be
Rosario Dawson.
slightly younger than Vader.
Slightly younger than Vader, yeah.
Maybe like 10 years younger than Vader.
So
Like
yeah,
not even, maybe like 5.
late
honestly.
40s, yeah.
Okay, but anyway, like she's gonna, I think she's gonna live a while. Like
Her
there might
species
be
can-
like time skips. There, who knows? Like
That's the fun thing about the book of Boba Fett going into the Mandalorian is that they're laying down these plot points where they can just go wherever they want. Like for the first time in a long time, there's an open field where, because it used to be like you were landlocked between this story and this story, you know. So certain things had to happen between it, so everything's already gets assumed. And then they have the literature to back up, you know, to like put a bunch of stuff in the background. But now it's like you have 17 years of a wide landscape. You know, if the sequel trilogy still is a thing, you still have that amount of time to have stories and content and figure out what has happened and how
Make
did we
this
get
shit
to that
make
point.
sense.
Make it make fucking sense,
Yeah,
please.
alright.
have
But-
someone do the
Because
hyperdrive
they've been telling
things.
this story for 40 years, you're running into exactly why I tell y'all I don't like long-ass cartoons. Because it never ends, I don't know when to fucking start, so I can actually catch up to when it's going to end like I did with Game of Thrones. You just described that.
See, but here's
No,
the
but you're
part
like-
that
you're
we keep
probably
trying to
making-
tell you, bro. Like, it's not always about when it's gonna end.
It's the journey,
about
dog.
It's the journey.
Experiencing it while it's happening.
We've been
You
talking
want
about Star
gratification.
Wars for 20 minutes because the shit doesn't end.
Yeah, that's great.
Not because
right?
it's such a
It's
great
awesome.
story.
I love it.
We can
me
talk
too.
about Lord of the Rings and it
Lord of
has
the
an
Rings?
end
Nope.
time because it's over.
No, it's not.
Actually-
There's a show coming out.
Yeah.
You
Can we talk
bibbly
about
blah,
the show
blah, blah.
because it's out? No. So we can only talk about Lord of the Rings for less than 20 minutes because it's
We
over.
can talk about Lord of the Rings for an hour
There's
right now.
actually more
if you
books than there are movies of Lord of the Rings.
I
you
know. I love the lore
there's
of Lord
6
of the Rings.
movies that are fucking 3 hours long each.
There's just more stuff we gotta talk about. We gotta jump off the
No.
wheels.
No.
You can't dictate. You're trying to put a cap on our Star Wars talk?
20 minutes.
Is that what you're gonna
We
do?
still have 30 minutes left of the
Oh.
show.
We got to get to Joe Rogan.
Get
No, we
ready.
don't. I don't even want to talk about that.
It's a Star Wars podcast
I don't
now.
give a fuck about that shit.
We got to talk about Kanye's movie.
No, we
and
don't.
the Super Bowl.
No, the
No.
Super Bowl we can talk about. It's fine.
Kanye.
Just no more Star Wars.
We can talk about Kanye. We're talking about Star Wars
Sorry,
every
yeah.
fucking time.
What were
yeah.
what were we talking about before you interrupted us?
The Super Bowl.
No.
What? Go ahead and turn his mic off.
Like, how
What were we
fucking
talking
good-
about?
The
Because that was kind of
Super
rude.
Bowl.
Yeah, that was rude, bro.
How many times have we talked about Star Wars?
And we'll continue to talk about Star Wars. Just because you don't understand it,
No,
and you
bro,
don't
we-
get the timelines and how it works, and you're not really like into it.
We're talking
like,
about one show that bleeds into another show
It's
that
a,
bleeds
it's a,
into
no, it's not.
an
It's a.
old movie.
It's not a show.
We're talking about the show.
It's a. It's
Boba
a.
Fett.
It's first of all, it's a franchise and it's a whole world. It's a universe. It's not a fucking
So's Walking
show or a
Dead.
movie.
I
Yeah,
mean-
there's comics.
Yeah.
We could talk about Walking Dead. We could have a whole podcast dedicated to Walking,
Walking Dead hasn't ended.
No, I think it did.
No, it's like
Oh, the
in-
show is still going.
Yeah,
the show is still going. Exactly.
Have you guys watched it?
Yeah.
No, 'cause it
I mean, I've seen up to
sucks.
season
It's
7.
really good.
Once Glenn died, I think the show.
Bro,
kinda
I
went
was
down
so
there.
pissed off when Glenn died.
Yeah, they lost me. I was
Bro,
like, well,
that shit
I'm
had
done.
me bent.
That's what happens when you
Favorite
make.
characters don't always survive, bro.
Well, Glenn's
Stop.
not Glenn wasn't my favorite character. Daryl is.
He was just the realist. Like he saved Rick from the get go, so it's like everybody.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Rick.
no. Glenn was there from the beginning. You know, they could have killed someone else. You know.
I was pissed off when Glenn died.
Yeah, but they're like we could fucking talk about Spider-Man for an hour. If you
So
want,
the
man.
Obi Wan Kenobi
hate
series
Spider-Man.
starts May 25th, day after my birthday.
It's gonna be dope. I can't wait for that.
45 years to the day.
Oh, and I was telling
that
you.
Episode 4 came out.
Oh yeah, so it's like the full 45
The
year
full
anniversary.
45-year anniversary.
That's pretty cool. How old is Ewan McGregor?
Who?
Bro,
Who
how
is
old is
that?
Ewan McGregor?
Obi Wan Kenobi, and
Is he 45? He might. He's probably older.
No, he's gotta be.
Look it up.
Episode.
My phone's on the fucking thing. Oh, but the Knights of the Old Republic is getting a new expansion. Oh, and
No
also
way.
they're remaking.
I thought
Oh,
they
there's
were just.
games too you can play.
I thought
for
they were just
Star Wars.
remastering the games. Are
We're
they
talking
just
about
doing a new?
remakes.
No, they're remaking Knights of the Old Republic, but
What?
the Old Republic MMO like on computer
Mhm.
is getting an expansion. And I was watching the cinematic. That shit was awesome. If you like lightsaber fights and shit,
Yes.
like
Bruh.
it was awesome.